Okay, we are live once again. Let's hope that this one worked because the last one, no sound. That's okay. I think we should be good now. If you can't hear me in this one, then I don't know what to do, but I think we should be good. Um, so let's give it a second, see who joins. This first hour stream is just us chatting about, just us chatting about anything. So, any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, please let me know. Then at 2 p.m., we have got 2 to 3, we've got a members exclusive live stream for Patreon members, whether they are free Patreon members or whether they are one of the paid tiers. And then 3 to 4, we have got a exclusive Patreon exclusive live stream for YouTube members. So 2 to 3 Patreon, 3 to 4 YouTube members. Well, that's good. I don't know. For some reason, the last couple 1 p.m. streams I've had, the audio on my cell phone has been going out. I don't know why. Hopefully, I can get that fixed. The 1 a.m. stream worked great. So I have zero clue what's going on. I may see if there's a way I can do like a USB-C to USB-A converter and maybe even use this microphone with my cell phone. But I'm glad you can hear me now. Dad, I'll be in the old country in about 2 days, give or take. Should be a lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. And then, like I said, I won't be really posting or any live streams from England, but I will be doing my YouTube. I will be doing my personal social media posts. So you'll see a lot of stuff on my personal social media channels, a lot of stuff on Twitter. You're also going to see, I have an Instagram account for Masonic buildings, both the facades and the interiors, and you will see both of those. Must be Smokey. Welcome, Smokey. Thank you for being here, as always. I hope you're doing well. So yeah, follow me on all my different Instagram accounts. And Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, we have our interview being released with worshipful brother Andy Albright. Andy Albright, who is a Masonic author from South Carolina, doing a great work. Very cool, Smokey. Robertson 456. Hello, how's it going? Let me know, Robertson, if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral. I would love to hear them. And thank you to everybody who has joined so far. Brother Courtney, how's it going with you? I hope it's going well. As with everybody else, thank you for being here. I hope you're having an excellent day. I had a great night last night. Some friends of mine gave me tickets to go see Matthew Good Band and I Mother Earth performing at the Coliseum in Windsor. So it was really fun, especially because it's right next to where I live. It's literally like a 5-second, maybe a 10-second wheel. So that was really, really fun. Good. What is going on? How is things in Texas? What's the weather like down there? I can tell you this, it's starting to get cold here. I'm a little bit nervous about traveling to Scotland and England because I hear it's really rainy and mushy and gross there, but I'll survive. Nice. Go live. Have fun. I hope it'll be a great stream. We'll have to pick another day because I can't do the 29th, another day for you and I to do a live stream together. Hello, Dad. So, how you feeling? Still recovering well? I hope you're recovering better. Actually, I was thinking I'll probably be able to get most of the information I need for my British citizenship application from when I'm in England already. I'll just get it from Kevin or Lorna or any of those cats. So, young man, I am not a young man. I mean, I'm younger than you, Courtney. So everybody's a young man compared to you because you're like 500 years old. But some of us are younger than others. Um, we're all young at heart, Courtney. That's what matters. Well, Smokey is a little bit older than me too. The point is, I'm the young man. The rest of you on this stream are old. You're all old folks. What can I say? Um, Nice. Yeah, I know. Smokey and I are both dealing with. Apparently, it's freezing where Smokey's at the moment. It's pretty cold where I am too, but we're surviving, right? That's what matters. We are surviving. So don't forget, 2 to 3 Patreon exclusive live stream, 3 to 4 YouTube members exclusive live stream. Should be a blast. I can't wait for it. And I'm gonna be one thing I'm looking forward to. Again, about these streams is getting the chance to talk to my members exclusively. One thing I'm looking forward to about my trip is getting the chance to see some Masonic buildings I would not otherwise have gotten the chance to see, like Freemasons Hall, maybe Rosslyn Chapel, certainly Grand Lodge of Scotland. It's going to be a blast. I don't know if I need the original yet. I probably do, but hold off until I know for sure. I need to know what documents I need. Again, I don't want you to mail something that you might not be able to get back. Or I mean, I'm sure I get it back, but I don't want to even mail something that is one of a kind. Not that the mail hasn't been great to me. At the very least, if you're going to mail it, make sure you mail it and you track it and you get it that you need a signature to for delivery. That way, at least we know that it's not going to get lost. Like they did with my passport. It's the same thing. I couldn't. They didn't just mail it to me. They mailed it to me with I needed to have my signature to pick it up, all that good jazz. So, which is actually an important thing to think about a little bit when you think about Freemasonry, in the sense of we are often dealing with sensitive documents. We have information we have information about our brothers, their date of birth, um, their addresses, their dates of birth, their Masonic information, their family's info. It's important to keep that stuff properly secured, properly safe, not be sharing passwords, all that type of stuff. Well, the problem with Scottish people is it's either their pockets are too long or their arms are too short. It's always one or the other. But either way, they can never seem to reach their wallets. So it's all right. I'm sure they'll be friendly to the Canadian in their midst. Maybe they'll like my accent. Who knows? Oh, you'll see them. I mean, you'll see them on my Instagram, on my Twitter, on my Blue Sky for that matter, on my personal YouTube channel. You'll see them all in those spots for sure. So it's going to be really, really fun. And it's going to be beautiful. Like I was thinking, it's been about 20 years since I've traveled to Scotland. I mean, so far, I've had a great year of travel. Aside from the normal, I shouldn't say, aside from the usual haunts that I love, like Glenview and Chicago, Toronto, Detroit. I've got to travel to Manila, Dubai, Rio, and now England, and maybe Colombia pretty soon, actually. Bogota, Colombia. I don't know for sure. I'm working out a few things, talking to some people, but I might make my way down to Bogota. Um, I can do Discord. Honestly, I don't do near enough with Discord. So Smokey brings up a very valid point. I should probably be doing way more on my Discord than I'm doing. Same thing with what's the word? Same thing with even Podbean and stuff like that. So yes, I agree with that completely. I do, as always, hope that everybody's having a great day. It's been really fun for me. Got up this morning. I got a Smile holiday cookie from Tim Hortons. If you're in Canada and you want to support a good cause, grab yourself a Smile cookie. They're $2 and funds go to local charities, if I recall correctly, from Tim Hortons. Dropped some off at Coffee Club. Did some practice for a third degree we have tonight, which was really fun. Cleaned up my place, taking care of everything I need to take care of in preparation for my trip, which starts tomorrow around midnight. But I should probably be doing a lot more with Discord than I am doing, that's for sure. Maybe even some live streams from Discord would be really fun. We're going to give it a bit more time. One thing I definitely got to do is, and just see who jumps in the chat to say hello. One thing I definitely got to do is figure out why sometimes the sound is out on my cell phone, especially because I've been getting really good views lately when I do my live streams, especially 1 a.m. Turns out the audience is a lot like me. You guys love those 1 a.m. live streams. No 1 a.m. live stream tonight. The next time I'll be, producing content, at least for the public, and not exclusive for members, will be November 23rd, 6 p.m. Eastern. You're going to see my interview with worshipful brother Andy Albright talking about Dante's Inferno and the lessons that we in Freemasonry can take from Dante's Inferno. So I hope not. I love coffee. I'd be very sad if they are on strike. Having said that, if they are on strike, I hope they get what their demands are. Part of it is selfish reasons. I love coffee, and part of it is because obviously I want them to get their support. Yes, big days indeed, but that's going to make it fun. I think it's going to be an absolute blast. So, yeah, I look forward to it. Many big days ahead. Hey, things have been going great. I've been loving the stream. It's been going really fun. Getting more and more audience members. That's been a blast. It's been wonderful. So I might get more people following me on Medium as well. That should be really fun. So we got some. Yes, I mean, one of the questions I would have is if there's anything in the old country, Masonically speaking, that you'd want me to check out. I've got a lot of people recommend to me Rosalind Chapel, which I think would be really fun. It's an hour away from Scotland. So a lot of it's going to depend on or Edinburgh, I should say. So a lot of it's going to depend on how quick I can make it there. Or not how quick, but how quick the awards ceremony is in Scotland. If it's a really long ceremony, I may not have the time to be there. So we'll see. And for now, let's give it a bit of time and let's see who joins. Any thoughts on Freemasonry? I was always told, it's funny, I was always told that English coffee doesn't taste very good. Coffee in England is bad because everybody there drinks tea. I don't know. I feel like coffee in England might be pretty good. Maybe it's gotten better over the years, right? Maybe it's gotten better over the years. When I was there last, it was 20 years ago, and it was so long ago that at the time I wasn't drinking coffee, which is crazy to think because I love coffee. So that's how long it's been, just for the record, um, since I've been there. Well, that's true for most people, Dad. They're only 24 hours in a day. For me, though, there's way more than 24 hours in a day because, as you know, Freemasons, we know of the secret 25th hour in the day. A lot of people don't know about that, but it's true. We Freemasons have access to a 25th hour that the regular folks don't get. I mean, Courtney would be aware of this, right? So, just for the record, we get the secret 25th hour in a day. I probably shouldn't share that secret. The Masons might be mad at me, but it's fine. We just won't, don't tell them I shared it. Trying to take care of something quickly while I got my computer here. All righty. Oops, I can't see this stuff on this side now. There it is. Hey, I believe in that 100%, Courtney. I think I wrote about how I travel before on the on Medium, which I hope that you guys will consider checking out. Traveling light is incredibly important. It's one of those things where it's like travel light, travel far. Um, right? That can mean, for example, making sure that you're not necessarily bringing more than you need. Like, one thing I sometimes recommend to brothers is not to travel with their Masonic aprons. Um, it's one of those things where usually most buildings you're visiting will have spare aprons on hand, even if you're in emulation ritual. If you're in Canada, it will be um, entered apprentice apron is fine. So it's one of those things where I'm usually hesitant about traveling with more than you need. But having said that, you do want to think about those things. You want to think about what is the dress. If you're going, let's say, specifically for a Masonic visit, what is the dress code in the Masonic building, or the lodge you're going to? Some, like many places in the States, there is no dress code. Some in Canada, most in Canada, there is a dress code. So do you need to bring a suit and tie with you? Do they have, or are they going to have with them, spare aprons? Embrace the journey is very good advice Masonically, right? There's more than that as well. That's really important to keep in mind also. But that's a big one. So yeah, what are the dress codes? Do you have your Masonic identification with you? Do you have your dues cards with you? If you don't have the physical, do you have, at the very least, the electronic, right? Or a combination of both? Do you have a letter from your secretary or from your Grand Lodge? Do you know what the dress code is? Do they know you're coming in advance? Sometimes it's not always possible to advise a lodge in advance. Maybe they don't have up-to-date contact information on their website. Whatever it might be, it's still worth trying to let them know in advance you'll be there, especially if they have a dinner planned and they need to know the numbers. Right, that stuff helps out big time, and it's just being a good buddy, being a good brother. You don't want them planning a dinner for 20 people and you're the 21st, especially if it's a plated dinner. Hello, Linking Atlas. Thank you for joining. I hope that you are doing well as always. I hope you'll consider hitting that like button. It's not too late for you to become a member of the stream, either YouTube channel or Patreon, and be able to join our exclusive member streams from 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. And I appreciate that, Linking Atlas. You can become a member for free, again, by going to Patreon, and that will cost you nothing. So, Linking Atlas, how is your day treating you? I hope it is going well. Oh, I always do, brother Courtney. I always make the most of my. I consider myself in many ways a professional traveler. Good question. I actually have a interview on my stream, Linking Atlas, with High Altitude Investing about Freemasonry and cryptocurrency. In my opinion, I'm not giving out financial advice. I trust investing in cryptocurrency as much as I trust in investments in any other form, which I mean, there are risks and potential rewards. I don't think anybody should assume that cryptocurrency is a magic bullet that will kind of make them rich. That's a dangerous attitude to have, or get rich quick, or that it's any less risky than investing in the stock market. Having said that, I am very, I don't even know what the word is, open, comfortable. I like the idea of cryptocurrency. I think I understand not just what it is, but the potential value that it has. I will say, so I think for me, it's worth Masonic lodges and Masons exploring investing in cryptocurrency. However, as with anything else, don't invest anything you're not willing to lose. Don't invest anything that you can't afford to lose. I can imagine that. I've been really lucky. I've never had any issues traveling. Knock on wood, I never do. My chair is a lot less than 300 pounds. So, but I know Stephen Fletcher. I mean, I don't know him, but I know him. I know his chair is a little bit bigger. Even that, though, I'm going to maybe give a little bit of a hot take. As a traveler, it's your responsibility to advise the airlines in advance of anything they may need to know, and sort out how best to travel, how best to work with the airlines. Right, I think I've talked about it before, right? When you're traveling, at least when I'm traveling, I'm aware that I'm representing not just me, but I'm representing Freemasonry. In some ways, you could even argue I'm representing Canada with my passport. So I want to do everything I can to make life as easy as possible for the flight attendants, for the flight crew, for airport staff, for customs, for TSA, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to ever kind of, I don't know what the word is, ever kind of like take it for granted what they're doing for me. So yeah. Having said that, I feel like WestJet should have made it work for him. I mean, he's been an MP for a while. He must have traveled all the time for work, right? As a member of parliament. He wasn't just a member of parliament. If I recall correctly, he was a member of the cabinet of Stephen Harper. So he would be very, you would think, well-versed in travel and used to traveling. So I guess take that for whatever it's worth. But all I know is I am very excited to travel. The other really wonderful thing is, or really exciting thing is I got my ETA. An ETA is an electronic travel authorization. Before you travel to United Kingdom, you need to do it. You do it online. It's incredibly easy. I got my response back very quick. But the beautiful thing about that is it's linked to my passport and it's good for 2 years, which means for the next 2 years, I have this authorization to travel to United Kingdom. Um, I don't need to do it a bunch of times. It just makes, from what I understand, it makes the passing through customs and the travel process a lot easier. So I'm very excited about that because it means maybe I'll get to go a few more times. I don't think electricity is going away. And I'm sorry about that you had stress linking Atlas. That sucks. I hope the stress has gotten better. I hope maybe being here on this stream um, making you feel better and less stress. Yes, I would agree with that, especially if it's just people you're meeting for the first time or people on the street. I don't think there's anything wrong with being nice to people. Um, or I think being nice to people makes sense. They'll be nice to you. That's not to say there aren't absolutely times when you have to get your elbows up a little bit and push back. And if you want to create something and build something that's bigger than yourself, I absolutely think it's sometimes really necessary to get in people's faces and not be afraid to throw some elbows and tell people what you think. However, that should not be the first approach, right? That should not be the default position. But you can't be nice all the time and to everybody. That's not going to be healthy either. I think Chris Jericho, who's this professional wrestler from Winnipeg, by the way, God's country, Winnipeg, he said something. He was obviously, if you know professional wrestling, you should know Chris Jericho. He's been incredibly successful at a very hard job. He's been incredibly successful at something in which it is incredibly hard to be incredibly successful. But he said, if you want to make it in anything, you have to be willing to not be nice sometimes. And I think there's some truth to that. Brother Courtney, always stay prepared. Yes, I agree with Brother Courtney 100%. Always stay prepared. Always bring credentials. That is incredibly important. So yeah, I agree with that. And you should not just bring credentials, but you should make sure that your credentials are well cared for, right? I have a bad habit of ripping up paper. I always try to not rip up my dues cards. Um, and not just about not ripping them up, but like the make sure the writing should be legible and intelligible. Um, make sure your signature is recognizable. Another little piece of advice, and Courtney, you can use this one. If you are the type, if you're a part of a lodge, um, that if you're a part of a lodge that has yearly dues cards, like you get a brand new dues card every year, then what you can do is anytime you get a new dues cards, take the old one and put it in a photo album. Keep it as a record. I've got all of my dues cards from when I first joined Freemasonry in 2007 to present, all of the previous ones. That is it's a really fun, it's a really cool kind of keepsakes to have. If you're part of a lodge which you have a single dues card, but every year you get a new sticker with a new date on it, but basically it's the same actual like card, just a new sticker with the updated year, which is less wasteful, to be honest. So it's probably a better approach to take, but that's different. But for me, I remember 5 lodges, 3 of them still have yearly dues cards. And so I have a photo album full of all my old dues cards. I almost got into a fight yesterday, a couple of days ago. I was ready to throw down, but kindly or happily, cooler heads prevailed, which is a good thing. So yeah. Well, you don't have to win a fight, just as long as you have the fight. That's what matters. You don't always have to win them, but sometimes you got to be willing to fight is the key. Um, Usually, if you're not willing to, that's when the problems start. Speaking of, I want to take a moment to mention Apex MMA, which is a training center here in Windsor. Obviously, most people know I trained professional wrestling for a bit. And that doesn't even mean, by the way, or for a long time, I trained professional wrestling and I loved it. But lately, just for fun and to try something different, I've been doing some more specifically MMA training, boxing and jujitsu, and it's been fun. And that doesn't even mean you have to hate the guy you're fighting, right? I think that's a misconception. You see it in professional wrestling all the time. Guys would get into fights, they'd throw punches, and then they'd make up and shake hands, and it would be done. Uh, if you and I'm not even saying you have to fight. What I'm saying is, if you're trying to build something, create something, push something a certain way, you're going to get pushback. You have to be comfortable, A, getting the pushback, B, fighting through the pushback, and C, approaching people if they need to be approached and calling them out if you feel like they need to be called out. Doesn't mean you hate them. Doesn't mean that after the fight you don't get along once again. Just means metaphorically or literally, sometimes those things happen. Because people fight, brothers. I mean, from a Masonic perspective, um, brethren fight, brothers fight, literal brothers fight. It's about being able to make up afterwards. And also don't, get into it for no reason. That's stupid. I've known some people who seem like they're just raring to go all the time. If there's a reason to be confrontational, but don't invent reasons to be confrontational. That's not a good thing either. That is very nice, Harry. I think that's awesome. Good for Winnipeg for having a section for peanut allergies. Because I could imagine, I was thinking about that a little while ago. Because somebody I knew had a really severe peanut allergy, and it made me think about like what do they do at sports games? Because back in the day, you just eat peanuts and throw the shells on the ground, and you couldn't really control where they were going. Peanut allergy section actually makes a lot of sense. Also, I think it's worth with that. You can probably take some Masonic lessons from that as well. In that, if you are preparing food for your brethren, if you're preparing food for the Masonic Lodge, make sure you keep allergies in mind. Maybe try to avoid things with peanuts. Maybe try to avoid things with allergens, et cetera, right? Keep in mind also dietary restrictions. Muslim, Jewish can't eat pork, right? Vegetarians. Try to be welcoming to as many people as you can. And as always, please take a moment to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know how you're doing. And if there's anything you want to talk about when it comes to Freemasonry, any thoughts you have, positive, negative, or neutral, I'd love to hear them in about 20 more minutes. Yeah, we're going to switch over to some member exclusive streams. So if you're a patron, either free or paid or YouTube member, you can find it there. Like Harry, Pops, I know you're a Patreon member. I think Courtney, you're a free member, if I recall correctly. If you go to Patreon, the most recent post is a link for that exclusive stream. So for now, though, we're just waiting to see if anybody wants to join this stream. And like I said, be paying attention to all my social medias. You're going to see a lot of stuff that I'm doing through the next few days. Nice. You deserve it, brother Courtney. You deserve a shout out for all of the effort you put into not just Freemasonry, but hurting or supporting about to sneeze. You ever one of those things where it kind of hurts because you know you're about to sneeze and then you don't? Phew, there we go. I made it. I'll shout out Linking Atlas. Thank you for your support. There we go. But not only for your work in Freemasonry, but all the support that you give to Masonic podcasts and Freemasonry in general. Not just my stream, but a lot of streams. Have you read? I mean, I read. I don't know if I'm seeing maybe all your comments. Maybe I'm missing some. I thought I read them all out. Let me give me 1 second to see if I'm missing anything. Everyone subscribe, like, share. Yes, I agree with that. Everyone subscribe, like, share, super chat, keep supporting. I 100% support Linking Atlas in that request, indeed. Sorry about that. I hope that didn't cause any feedback as I'm drinking my coffee over here. Well, at least we know nobody has any green bean allergies. Could you imagine if there was a Mason who had a green bean allergy, how much trouble he'd be in? He would starve to death. He would never be able to eat anything to save his life. Thank you, Linking Atlas. I appreciate the support. My channel's been growing really well, especially my mobile streams. It's funny, my streams on mobile platforms are doing really well when you can hear me. When there's no sound, not so much. So I got to figure out what's happening there. But my streams here have been going great. So thank you so much to everybody who's been supporting me. We're monetized. We're growing. We're going to keep growing. It's been an absolute blast. And like I said, it's been such a great time. I get to visit, England, United Kingdom, see some family, and I look forward to getting to visit Grand Lodge of Scotland, where I might be getting an award. So that'll be very fun as well. Oh, don't worry. I won't be doing live streams from England on this channel, I don't think, just because there's different rules about work, what constitutes work trip versus business trip. I don't want to run afoul of that, so I'm not going to do live streams on Square and Compass Promotions. I am going to potentially be streaming from my personal channel. I'll certainly be posting a fair bit from my personal channel, like posts, content, pictures, Facebook, Twitter, all that good jazz. So it'll be a lot of fun. I agree with that. I am very pleased with all the effort you're putting into the craft as well, Courtney. Keep up the great work. You're doing a great job. Enjoy the process. Don't rush it. I know that your lodge is one of the lodges where you're allowed to attend as an entered apprentice. So that's a really good thing as well, because it means you can enjoy it a little bit more and take your time more. So keep up the great work. And right now, we're just waiting. I don't have any particular subjects for this stream. Rather, it's just hanging out, waiting to see who joins. And again, exclusive member streams coming up from 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. Oh my gosh, I'm not married. I have no idea. Whatever age I guess feels right to you, I have no clue. I don't think there's a set answer to it. I know some people who got married very young and they had successful marriages. I know some people who got married very young and they kind of all fell apart. And then the opposite as well. I've known people who waited, got married much later in life. And so I don't know. I suppose when you find somebody you love and you're of legal age to get married, obviously, that's a whole, I don't think, two 15-year-olds should get married or anything like that. But, I guess what the age when you find somebody you love and you think it's the right time, I don't know if there's a set formula for this stuff. I'm 42. I'm 42 years old, so which means I'm younger than everybody on this stream. And Linking Atlas, even if you are younger than 42, don't tell me. I'd appreciate not knowing. Would be very kind of you if you could just not mention it. Because I'm very proud to be very young. I definitely miss being in my 20s, though, and my 30s. That was a lot more fun. Please take a moment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know how you're doing. If there's anything you want to talk about when it comes to Freemasonry, any thoughts you have. We'll be finishing this stream off in about 10 minutes, then switching over to the exclusive streams. If you're a member, this is your chance to talk to me about what you want to see from Square and Compass Promotions, the direction you want to see Square and Compass Promotions go. It's going to be a blast. I'm looking forward to speaking to my members. That's a great question, Gerald. By the way, please hit like and subscribe. So Freemasonry is an umbrella term, and actually it encompasses Prince Hall and Eastern Stars. So if you're talking about no, you're not, Linking Atlas. You're older than me. Don't forget. Freemasonry is the umbrella term. When we're talking about Freemasonry, you're talking about a variety of different groups that can fall under that umbrella. Two of those groups are Prince Hall and Eastern Star. Prince Hall are Masonic lodges that were founded in 1775, if I recall correctly, by a man named Prince Hall. And it was done to be a Masonic body for Black men, for African Americans, and for Black men, because at the time, prejudice, obviously, there's still prejudice today. There's been prejudice throughout history, but prejudice and racism against Black people would oftentimes result in them not being welcomed into Masonic lodges. So Prince Hall started his own. It exists in America, Canada, around the world. In 2025, it is open not just to Black men. I've known actually a lot of white men who joined Prince Hall. And Freemasonry, thankfully, doesn't, welcomes men of all different colors now as well. What you could call AF and AM Freemasonry. So Prince Hall is a Masonic group that originated as a place for Black men to join Freemasonry. Eastern Star is a Masonic group for men and women. It was founded in, this is a rough estimate, 1888. I could be wrong about that. But it started, and it is a Masonic group for men and women. Throughout most of its history, it was a group. The women who joined it were required to have some type of familial connection. So it was a group really for women who were married to Freemasons, or their son or their dad or their brother were Freemasons. In later years, it switched, and now you don't necessarily have to have that family connection to be an Eastern Star in many jurisdictions. But it's for men and women, right? But there's many other different groups within Freemasonry as well. There's youth groups like Rainbow and Demolay. There's Order of Women Freemasons. There's Shrine, etc., etc. So Freemasonry is the umbrella term. Prince Hall and Eastern Star are two organizations that exist within Freemasonry. Well, people gossip. Online communities make it easier to gossip. I think it was Cicero who said, truth walks on feet while gossip travels on wings. Don't worry about why it happens. I tend not to worry about it anymore. There's been a lot of different reasons. Because Freemasonry has private ceremonies, it's an easy target in some cases for it's been an easy target in some cases for conspiracy theorists. Um, in World War or before World War II, Hitler famously connected Freemasonry to Judaism as a way to kind of target Jewish people, which Freemasonry is not a religion. It welcomes men of all different faiths, Jewish, Christian, etc. And I think in many cases, there are many people who are struggling in life for a variety of reasons. Maybe sometimes because of their own choices, sometimes because of situations outside of their control. But either way, they're struggling, they're finding life difficult. And as a consequence, what they do is look for somebody to blame, and Freemasonry can make an easy target, especially if they go online on Twitter and see a bunch of people saying a bunch of nonsense about Freemasonry and use that to kind of reinforce their pre-existing ideas, if that makes any sense at all. But I'm trying to change that by being on these streams and talking to people about Freemasonry. I hope I'm able to show them the positives of Freemasonry and why I think that for Freemasonry to exist makes the world a better place. Let me know, Gerald, if that made sense. And thank you for joining the stream. I hope my explanations have made sense thus far. Good. How'd you come across the stream, Gerald? Was it just, were you scrolling? Was it recommended to you? How did you find me? How'd you find us? And it's wonderful to have you join and be here. My name is Cameron. My name is Cameron Adamson. And I am a Freemason out of Windsor, Ontario. I'm a member of some lodges in Texas and Israel as well, on an interesting side note. So, Gerald, do you have any interest in Freemasonry at all? Like, is this something you've studied or looked into? The right age to get married is whatever age you so desire, is what I would say. I don't think there's any rules about it. Well, yes, as dad says, when your partner says it. However, first you got to get the partner. So that can be an issue too. Another 5 minutes, we're going to end this stream. Then we're going to be starting our YouTube exclusive streams very shortly. I'll be doing some poll questions, asking people what it is that they want to see, asking our members what it is that they want to see from Freemasonry. So. Well, I mean, it might still happen, right? I would say with Courtney, like, I think, what did Courtney say up here? I mean, I think Courtney's got a great family, but yeah, you guys decide. All right. I think we're going to have to end this stream now. It's been a lot of fun because I got my exclusive streams coming up soon. So we need to get ready for those. All right. Give me a couple moments. If you're a member, either Patreon or YouTube, be ready. We're going to do some poll questions. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm just going to take a quick break. Thank you, everybody, for being here as always. And I hope everybody has an excellent rest of the day and rest of the weekend if you won't be joining me. All right. Talk to you guys soon.